Hey guys, what's going on? Ken Rayder here for Rayder Sports. How are we doing tonight? So, if you haven't heard by now, Le'Veon Bell will not sign the franchise tag and report to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That franchise tag is worth about $15 million. And I was thinking about it, and the only reason I can see him holding out this long and really trying to weasel money out of the Steelers is because he wants to be paid more than Todd Gurley of the Rams, who right now is the highest paid running back, and he thinks he is the best. I have no problem thinking if you think you're the best. You should always think you're the best. I mean, that's what, alpha males do. That also shows that you believe you're the best. You want to be the best. It shows that you believe in your own potential, and I'm all for that. But I was thinking whether or not this was legit. Does Le'Veon Bell really have much of a leg to stand on when it comes to this holdout, and should he get paid more than Todd Gurley? Well, it really stands on two avenues that I can look at, two prerequisites, you could say, that one, he has to be better than Todd Gurley, and two, he has to prove how indispensable he is to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now let's start with the comparison between him and Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is 2 years younger, so if they both have the same, let's say they both have the same 10-year career, obviously I'm going to get 2 more extra years with Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is in his 4th year. This would have been Le'Veon Bell's 6th year had he played. So that means if they both get, the same 10-year careers, Todd Gurley's would run till 2024 and Le'Veon Bell would be 2022. So I'd be getting more long-term investment giving money to Todd Gurley than I would over Le'Veon Bell. Todd Gurley, in his 4-year career, he has had 984 rushes to Le'Veon Bell's 1229. Todd Gurley has already surpassed Le'Veon Bell's career total in touchdowns, 42-35. And Le'Veon Bell only has about a 1,100 yard rushing lead in yards. So so to me, I don't think you have to be an economic major or a GM to figure this out. Todd Gurley has much more of an upside over, let's say, a 10-year career than Le'Veon Bell does. Not only would it run you longer into the future, but it would also pretty much bring more dividends having Todd Gurley than Le'Veon Bell. Now, the second part of this is how indispensable he is to the Steelers. To be able to say, I'm worth this much money, the Pittsburgh Steelers would have to have a reason to pay you. You would have to be indispensable to ask for as much money as he is. And in order to do that, the team has to be worse. And two, you better make sure your replacement cannot put up nearly the same numbers as you do. Right now, the Steelers are 6-2-1. Yes, the Steelers are 6-2-1 without him. And James Conner, in his 9 games as the Steelers' featured running back, has 771 yards with 10 touchdowns. So right now, he's on pace to have about a 1,220-yard season with 20 touchdowns. They're leading the AFC North. They look like they're going to be in the playoffs, and that's in that 12, 20, and 20 touchdowns isn't even talking about the possibility of playoff yardage and playoff touchdowns, which at the 85 point whatever clip he's doing would get him to around 1,300, 1,400 yards, depending on how many games into the playoffs and how deep into the playoffs they go. So James Conner is putting up almost the same averages as Le'Veon Bell has. And the team's not suffering. They're at 6-2-1. They got like a 1.5 game lead in the North. They're going to go to the playoffs. And I really applaud the Steelers for not caving in. Most of these holdouts don't work anyway, and usually the player decides, hey, it won't be worth it. We'll go back to the drawing board next season and I'll play. And this is why I feel Le'Veon Bell should have just played, shut up, and gone back to the drawing board or free agency or whatever he wanted to do after the season, but show up, play, make sure you are deserving of that contract that you are so vehemently chasing, because right now it looks like the Steelers won this holdout. Le'Veon Bell is going to forfeit $15 million and an entire season of football, sitting on a couch just like I'm doing right now, while James Conner, who is making 1/30th of that percentage, he's only making a little over $500,000 this season, and he's putting up the exact same numbers. Le'Veon Bell right now just seems like a spoiled, entitled, whiny ass. But what do I know? I'm just a guy sitting on his couch like Le'Veon Bell is doing right now. Except I'm not. Obviously, I don't have $15 million hanging over my head. But hey, you know what? We're doing the same thing. We're sitting on the couch watching football. Because he sounds like a spoiled, arrogant brat. Until next time, guys, this is Ken Rayder signing out.